And
Right.
I'm
Awareness.
also very heavy on the Fantasia. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
If
Like,
you don't want
I would
me, then
rather
don't
you
talk to
just,
me.
period, just don't even talk to me
Hmm.
instead of not being genuine. Like, if it has to be fake, I don't want it. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the Sister Series.
Welcome
Uh,
back.
We are two sisters by choice, navigating what it means to live and exist in today's world. I am Mariah,
And I'm Elise.
and y'all have caught us during Teacher Appreciation Week. By
Brr, 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 brr.
the time y'all see this, it will be Teacher Appreciation Week. I get, is it Monday through Friday? Will this be the
Yes.
tail end of Teacher Appreciation Week by the time it
Yeah.
drops?
Hmm.
Yeah, so shout out to all the teachers. We are going to have a really good conversation with some of our really good friends that are teachers and educators. And Elise will also be joining in. So stay tuned for that segment. But first, it's time to have a candid conversation. Last week, I was fired up during the candid
Yes.
conversation.
Yes, you
I
are.
went back and watched it and I was like, oh, I was really on fire. But today is a little more lighthearted. You know what? Before I jump in, Elise, how are you? I'm just
Oh,
disregarding your
dang it.
feelings and stuff. How
You
are
know,
you?
I'm good. I'm a little sick. I'm a little stuffy if you can't tell this
Yeah.
week. But we finished the busiest season in my career of my school year this
Mhm.
past week. So I feel a little refreshed and we're nearing the end of the year. The summer is on its way. Our
Period.
birthdays are on their way. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic while being sick and on my time of the month.
Yikes. Triple whammy. Or no, double. Well, it might as well be triple.
Yeah,
Whatever.
wait, I want to show you my shirt.
Okay, yes. Move your mic.
Oh man, you can't see. Okay,
Move your
it
mic.
says, what does it say?
Read it.
She believed she could. It says she believed she could change the world, so she became a teacher. And so
Period.
I said, this is the one time I can wear a scripted shirt or an on theme shirt for what we're talking about on the pod. I wanted to
Yes.
shout my shirt out.
And I wore this shirt because it's giving art teacher vibes. And
Yes,
also, it's very chaotic, which is what I feel like me being a teacher would be. Very
I'm
chaotic. So I'm
screaming at that.
channeling my inner teacher by wearing this shirt.
And how are you, sister? How you feeling?
You know what? I feel like I always say I'm good at baseline, but I need to start being like transparent. Not that I'm not good. I told you like most of the time, as long as nothing like major is wrong, I am good. But I will say for the past 5 days, I have really been just in like deep thought and deep feeling about things. So yeah, just navigating that and still trying to come from a place of positivity and happiness and not let things that I can't control get me down or like keep me down. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
and
I
that's
am right
something to
now.
work through. That's right. And that's
Yeah.
hard to do, but you are doing it well, I believe.
Well, if you say so, girl, my poker
Hello,
face must
L.
be pokering. All right. So our candid conversation today is I mean, I'm just kind of going off the fly, but it is kind of about what we talked about. I need to give the credit where it's due. So let me look up who said this. So I, for the past 5 days, have been just feeling away about things. And my husband sent me this YouTube clip, and I want to tell y'all who it was from. I might have to just leave it in the comments so I, give
Yeah,
credit.
give
These
credit.
are not my words, but she was basically saying, she was talking about your light. So she made the analogy that the only time that you really need to wear shades is when you're in the direct path of the sunlight. You're not wearing
Mm,
shades when it's dark outside. You're not wearing shades at night unless it's like a fashion statement or something. But she said when it feels like people are throwing shade or being shady or whatever, it may be because your light is shining too bright and they need that shade so they can handle it or
huh.
so they won't be affected as much by your light. Has nothing to do with you. Your light is still shining regardless if they have their shades on or not. Um, and you should not try to accommodate them. The sun does not try to accommodate the darkness. The sun rises when it knows it's supposed to rise, and it sets when it's time to set. You got to do the same thing.
Regardless.
Regardless of what's going on around you, do not dim your light to make other people comfortable. Don't play small because you feel like you're too much. Don't do any of those things because it's not necessary. If your light is shining to the point where somebody needs to be shady, let them. I'm also reading the book called Let Them. Very great book. I would encourage people to read it and really take in what it's saying because it's really like a self thing. I feel like some of these books talk about like what's wrong with other people and how you are right. That's not what the Let Them theory or the Let Them book does.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's my candid conversation because I have just really been in a way. I feel like I'm doing better after
Yeah.
like talking to people I love, and I went to Bible study yesterday. You were there. I'm
Yeah.
talking to the other people. But we had a really good discussion. But I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to feel better, but I definitely needed to hear that. Like I can't worry about whether or not people are threatened by my light or even threatened by who I am. Like if I know that I'm not doing anything wrong or I'm not being malicious or any of those things, then I'm just going to keep being me. And I would
Mm-hmm.
encourage everybody else to keep being you.
Yeah, and do the same. And I agree
Yeah.
with that. I've recently realized that I am somebody who um I don't know how to put it into words, but I just really am out here being my I don't know the word, being my overly zealous self. What is it? Is
Mhm.
that right? Being my overly zealous self and not realizing that some people have ill feelings about that. I am in la la
Literally.
land
Yeah.
24/7 and I'm really like, oh, they probably felt a way, but I'm so far probably up my own butt that I don't even notice that, but I need to
But you shouldn't
because
know.
no, but I need to notice it because then I'm like, well, you're right. Actually, I don't need to notice it. But sometimes I do because it's people pleasing. But never mind. This is really off topic. I could go. I'm trying to stay on the shot on the surface. I could
We
go
never stay on the surface,
way
Elise.
way to the dark side of the ocean, but I
You
don't
gonna
want
bring
to.
it back though. We always do. But
LOL,
people need to
psych.
hear it. I am curious to what you mean though. Like I want to understand.
I want to be more aware of how people truly feel about me because like I always
Mm,
say, I could be naive sometimes. And
yeah,
I don't
I
want
get that.
to continue to think that everyone has the best will when they really don't. And then I'm in here looking crazy because I'm like,
Yeah.
we cool. But people really aren't cool. They're just being fake. And I'm so
Yeah.
just
It's a
like,
humbling
oh,
place to be in.
yeah, like everybody loves everybody when really they don't really love everybody. And I need to
Yeah.
just be more aware. I think I'm taking you to where I just need to be more aware. I'm not saying be mean, cut people off, things like that. I'm just saying not like angry. Like we talked about in Bible study. I'm not saying being angry. I just need to
Yeah.
be more aware because like we said in Bible study, well the question on the floor is reconciliation necessary? Is that the question? It's something in the form of that.
It's
Like, do we even some? I don't know how to explain it. I don't
I
know what I'm
forgot what
talking
the
about.
question was, and I'm the one that wrote it on the board that day.
Like reconciliation. Once everything is out on the table and we are back in loving arms,
I think
do
is
we
what
have
is
to?
does forgiveness equal reconciliation?
Yes, that's right. Does forgiveness equal reconciliation? I have literally driven to California, up to Virginia, down back to Houston in this
I
one
mean,
conversation
it all
just now.
ties in somewhere. No, but I
But
feel you about the awareness.
yeah, I need to be more aware
Yeah.
because people are not all no 50% of people are not genuine, and
Yeah.
I need to realize that you're not being genuine, you are being slick and shady, and
Yeah.
I'm going to distance myself from the slick and shady instead of being naive and thinking that everything is all dandy peaches and roses,
Yeah. I think it's definitely like, I don't know if
because
you
you
haven't
have
learned
to,
it or what.
because you get then you walk into situations where you look dumb in the end, where I haven't really
Preach.
gotten into that, but it could lead to that. You go into
Yeah.
situations looking dumb because you just thought everyone was being genuine and everyone was being great, when really no, you
Yeah.
just weren't aware and you were just going through life
I'm gonna
being
say this.
naive.
We having candid conversation. You
LOL.
know what?
Because what am I talking about?
Leave it out in the open. Because you're talking about being genuine, which
Yes,
ties
which I
into
yes, and
everything
you
that
know
we're
when
talking
people
about.
are being genuine. You know when people are being fully genuine, and I'm a
Or
genuine
if you
person.
don't, it will reveal itself. What do I
That's
always
true.
say? Like, things will be revealed. You just got to wait on it.
That's true.
Even though I feel like that, sometimes I'm not ready for what is revealed, or I don't expect that, "Oh, dang, like I was right." Or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
want it to be like that.
Yeah. 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 And I think that what affects me the most is that I'm always coming from a genuine place. Whether I'm
Yes.
saying something you don't like or I'm
Yes,
saying something you
absolutely.
like, I am
Yeah.
coming from a genuine place always. And I need to realize that other people are not.
Or if I tell you like I'm good, like we are good, I'm
Right.
not just saying that to make you feel a way, and then
Right.
I'm
Right.
gonna circle back and really be like, I hate your guts. Like
Right.
literally
Right.
can't stand you. Like I'm not gonna do that. And
Right.
I'm
Awareness.
also very heavy on the Fantasia. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
If
Like
you don't
I
want
would
me, then
rather
don't
you
talk to
just
me.
period. Just don't even talk to me
Mhm.
instead of not being genuine. Like if it has to be fake, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's something that I struggle with. I'm in prayer about it right now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord, how do you deal with that? Like, if people that you know they're not being genuine with you or they're not being open and honest with you, how do you handle that? Because in the past, I would be like, listen, I know what this is, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that's how you handle things. I don't know if
Right.
that's right. So,
As a Christian, we
yeah,
gotta bring some Christianity into that, and that's a long conversation. Woo
it
wee.
sure is. Ooh,
That's
we
gonna have
got
to be
very
an
candid,
episode.
very quick.
I took it there, man, and that's the problem. I'ma always take it there, always, whether I want to or not.
But
And I
listen,
think
that is
that's the
why
genuineness in
yeah,
it.
exactly. That is why this is our show. Like sometimes I think I will try, like even if I'm going through something, I'll try not to like I call it burdening. Like I'll try not to tell anybody and I'm like, this is not their problem or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it ends up coming up anyway.
Anyway,
So
yep.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I was supposed to say that or
Yeah, and I
I
think that's
don't know.
why I'm so open. I really
Yeah,
say some off the wall stuff
you
sometimes.
do. I love it.
And I'm really not gonna hold back often. And I can't help it.
Yeah. And I love that about you.
Thank you.
I will say it's a safe space though when you do have friends that are open or people you love, it could be family, whatever. When you know that they're genuine and that they're going to say whatever because it makes you comfortable to say whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to like tiptoe around you or like
Hmm.
there might be times I'm like, dang, am I getting on Elise's nerves? Because I've been texting her from 8 a.m. to
No, because I'll stop responding.
midnight. But then I'm like, I need to get out of that mindset because Elise is my friend. Elise is my sister. If Elise wants to tell me you getting on my nerves, she can do that. Or she can just not text back. Like that's fine. But I
Yeah.
think I
And
have to get out of that mindset like, oh, I'm bothering or like am
yeah.
I being annoying? Like it's okay if somebody likes me. I need to let somebody like me.
Yeah, yeah, and also I know. Let's say we are texting all day. I know that if me or you go missing for a little bit, you're either busy, sleep, or not texting right now, and it's up to me to be like, I'll wait until she texts back, or
Yeah.
double text in a couple of hours. No, I'm
Or
just
triple
kidding.
text because sometimes we need to say something and just get
Yes,
back to it when you can.
yes, or we'll pick it up the next morning. But I think there's on the other end of that, we don't take it as, oh, she didn't text me back.
No.
No, we may do it like sarcastically, but never am I like, she didn't take. We got lives. Like, come
Yeah.
on, we
Yes.
working and stuff.
Yeah.
So
At least
I
might be
think
at a
that's
happy hour.
yes. Most of the times I'm asleep.
Same.
But
Always
yeah, oh my
same.
gosh, that was so candid, so
It
around the world, and
was.
I yeah.
But that's what these are for. Because you
Yeah.
know what? There might be somebody out there that feels the same way. They might be going through something too. And I feel like
Mhm.
these rants, somebody go get something out of it. They might
Yeah,
not need all of it. They might just need a little
a little
piece.
snippet. Yeah, get a little snippet out of it.
Yes. Okay. But as I mentioned, it is Teacher Appreciation Week by the time this episode drops. So we are going to head on into the suite so we can talk to our guests for this week. So, y'all, come on. Let's go.
But boom.
It is time for our segment today. We have three special guests with us, including Elise. She's also going to be our special guest. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. It is Teacher Appreciation Week by the time you guys see this. So, we are going to talk to some of our teacher friends and get the scoop on all things education. So, who wants to go first?
What are you talking about? We need some guidance.
Introduce themselves.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I raised my hand.
Okay, like a great student that you are, Tabitha.
Yes.
Let's get it popping.
I am. You know what? We kind of do need guidance because when you say introduce yourselves, like what are we introducing? Like
Okay,
what grade
yes.
we teach?
Tell me your name. You don't have to give your full government name if you don't want to, but the people gonna know you. What grade do you teach? What subject do you teach? And we'll stop there. We'll save the rest for my other questions.
Okay. My name is Tabitha. I teach eighth grade and I teach U.S. history, advanced and regular.
Okay, advanced.
Period.
All right, who's next?
I am Quanita and I teach sixth grade math.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I'll take them. I'll take them.
I only say that, Quanita, because I have a sixth grader who is in sixth grade math. Pray for us. Okay, next.
Ooh, there's something in my eye, so I'm over here fighting for my life. But my name's Elise. Nice to meet y'all. And I am currently not a teacher, but I am what is called a campus compliance coordinator. And I'll explain what that means. But I did teach, and when I taught third grade, fourth grade, and special education resource and inclusion.
Oh, wait a minute now. She introduced
what-
all the other
did I say-
subjects too.
Did I say fourth? Did I say third grade or fourth grade?
You started at
You
third.
said,
No, I taught fourth grade, fifth grade, and special education resource and inclusion.
Girl, you done taught everything. You can't even remember.
But
Okay,
I'm not going to
so-
give my background story. Quanita and Tabitha will give more detail on your journeys to where you got to today.
Yes. So my first question is, I want to know why you became a teacher. Like, what motivated you, or was it just like a sounds fun, I'm gonna do it? And we can just go for all the questions in the same order. We'll go Tabitha, Quanita, and then at least if you want to fill anything in.
Period.
So
Is that
Tabitha,
the first question?
what motivated you, friend, to become a teacher?
I actually went to college to be a teacher. I don't honestly know why I chose it, to be honest. I feel like when I filled out all my applications for college, I just picked different things, and whatever school I ended up going to, that's the one I was gonna go with. So it was really like between education and then like counseling or psychology. So it's kind of still the same wave, but I ended up in early childhood education. So I went to school for K through 6 in California, but when I moved to Texas, they advised in the alternative certification program that I should do generalist 4 through 6 because it's not as competitive. So I'm certified generalist 4 through 6 in Texas.
So
I don't really have a reason
competitive,
why.
like, there's more jobs available.
People don't like middle schoolers, so
That tracks.
you're always going to be able to be hired because they are learning who they are and they're testing all the boundaries. So it is probably easier than the hugs you receive in elementary school than getting cussed
Yeah.
out in middle school.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I still
Okay.
get hugs.
I was about to say, oh, I can relate.
I mean, I get hugs, but there's still so much going on because there's so much more drama in the middle school, junior high level. So I guess I went to school to be a teacher. I also wanted to be a teacher because I wanted to be a coach. Conveniently in Texas, they are put together in the junior high level. That's not something that we have in San Diego where I'm from, but here it is together. So I kind of lucked up in that sense.
Okay, so teaching, coaching, got it. So you kind of knew where your path was. What about you, Quanita?
I knew I wanted to be a teacher since second grade. Every paper, everything, every time they asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a teacher. No questions. But of course, as I got older, it was like, teachers don't make money. Pick something else. So I started like looking into other professions. And I even thought about doing like physical therapy. And then I got to college and I took those courses and I was like, okay. And then it wasn't what I thought it was when I took those courses. So then I was like, I'm gonna go back to education. And I got into my education classes and I was like, okay, I should have followed my first mind because this is where I'm supposed to be. I absolutely loved every moment of it, and it felt like I was in the place getting the things that I needed to be the person I wanted to be. And so I graduated. I am 4 through 8 certified as well. I started in elementary for 15 years. I did elementary. I did 4th and 5th grade. 4th grade was the longest. And then a few years ago, I kind of got, I think, burnt out with the elementary. I felt like I wasn't giving it my all, so I felt like I needed to change. And so then I moved into middle school. And so I started in 7th grade math. So going from 4th grade to 7th grade, it was a huge shock, huge change. And I was almost saying, I shouldn't have done this. I cannot do this. These kids are way different. I'm not sure if I have the capacity to be what they need me to be in this level. And so I moved to 6th grade. And now I think I've gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's not the 7th graders. They really broke me in. So now I'm like, with 6th grade, I can take whatever. Whatever you say, whatever you do, I got it, no problems. And so that was my journey.
I feel like 6th graders are still coming off that elementary train, trying to figure out who they are. But then in 7th grade, they get a little sure of themselves. So they say, or so they act like.
Yeah, I think it also depends on the school. Like the elementary school I worked at first, the highest grade was 5th grade. But the district that I'm in now, 5th and 6th grade are one campus. And then the campus I work at is 7-8. So I taught 5th grade, and they were the oldest. And then I moved to teaching 7th grade, but they were the younger ones on the campus. And now I teach 8th grade, and they're the older ones. So I think those little differences also matter, because if they're a 6th grader in a 6, 7, 8 campus, yeah, they're gonna act much different than a 5th and 6th grader at a 5th and 6th grade campus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. So is it like intermediate and middle school, or
They call it elementary, middle, and junior high. So I technically teach at a junior high, and then middle school is 5, 6.
Okay.
Interesting.
I feel like things are different, like depending on what district you are in.
Yeah, and we're all in the same city.
Yeah, it's wild. Elise, do you want to mention anything about your journey or anything like that, friend?
Not really. I never wanted to be a teacher, but I ended up there, and we've talked about it in previous episodes. I think it helped me find my passion, but teaching is not my passion, and that's okay. I enjoyed it while I was in the classroom.
Got it. Okay, so my next question is, okay, I'm about to go off the script because I need to know, what is this lingo that the kids are using? What is skibbity? What is alpha? What is beta? I need to know, because I hear this with the middle school kids. I have a middle school child, and she'll say something, and then I'll be like, what is that? And she'll be like, you don't know what that means? We didn't talk like that when I grew up, but I need to stay up on the lingo. So my first question is, what does this stuff mean? And my second question, how do I stay up to date on this lingo of the middle schoolers when I am not in middle school and I'm not around them all the time?
1, you do not need to keep up with that lingo. 2, none of those words are going to last. 3, they watch too much YouTube, and that's where all that stuff is coming from. You can pretty much stay as up to date as necessary through Instagram, making sure you follow the radio stations and things like that. That'll keep you just enough on your toes with all the things that they're talking about.
Oh, I'm good then.
But those words, they're slowly fading out anyway.
Do y'all ban any of those words in y'all's classrooms?
The words right now is glaze. Like, that means you're hyping somebody up too much. You're glazing him. Like, that's a word I've been hearing over and over and over again.
My kids are stuck on 6, 7. Come on.
Okay,
guys.
my daughter is saying that, but is it like you just make it work where it works? Like,
yes.
How many dollars you got? I got like $6, $7. No, that don't work.
No, I don't know. I never heard
nothing. It's just they just picked it up from some social media, and now
that's
they're
what I was gonna say.
And that's all they do is they repeat stuff, and then I'm like, okay, that's enough. I get it. And they're like, Miss, yes, and they try to get me to say it. They'll ask me a question. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, I know enough to know I'm not about to fall for that. Thank you.
Right.
All right. So, what do y'all feel like is the most influential thing that y'all can take every day to y'all's kids at school?
For me, especially teaching eighth grade US history, the biggest thing that I want them, is it for them to take away from me? Like my influence onto them?
Yeah.
My biggest thing I want them to take away from me is like, if you learn nothing else in this class, you need to focus on the part where we talk about the Constitution, right? Knowing your laws. And the biggest thing I also focus on is staying informed and making sure that you are not only listening to what the adults around you are saying, but you are actually fact checking everyone. Like, don't take anybody's word for anything, pretty much. Like, you need to make sure that you do your due diligence to make sure that you are staying informed on all things current events.
Yeah.
Because as you can see in our current political state, it is chaos. And when we can take those things and relate them to previous presidents, and we talk about protective tariffs and we talk about all those things like as it's in the curriculum, now they're asking questions, and that's the key. You need to be asking questions. You need to want to know more. It's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not figure out the answer.
Yeah. Oh,
So that's my biggest thing. Staying informed and understanding that you always want to know.
Yeah. I like that.
Mine is not as good. But I think for me, my biggest thing that I want them to take away is have some, how do I say this? Like, have care about what you're doing. Like, they're really big on being mediocre. They're okay with, 70 is okay, it's passing. I'm like, no, why do mediocre when you can be great?
Yeah.
Like, why would you not want to give 100% all the time in everything that you do, and you're settling? And I don't like that for them, because I feel like when they settle, they miss out on so much of who they could truly be or grow to be, because they just don't care enough to put in a full effort for anything that they do. So I'm always talking to them about that.
Yeah, I think that is equally as good, Quanita. That's an important point too. What about you, Elise? You want to add anything?
Oh, no. I don't work with children right now. I guess when I was a teacher, I taught math and science. I taught self-contained. I will speak on my special needs students. I think I just wanted them to know that they had the capability to put forth as much effort as they possibly could to make some progress. I wanted them to know that they may not always be, I don't know how to explain it, but any type of progress was progress. And I wanted them to understand that sometimes you're not going to get it all right. We don't get it all right as adults. And so I just wanted them to know that progress, even if it's one question you got right, we're celebrating that win.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Got to celebrate the small wins and the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like at baseline, I am an involved parent. Like, I'm going to send the email. I'm going to send a follow-up if you don't reply. I'm going to call. I'm going to forward.
Yeah.
How
not ever call
important
me.
do y'all feel like it is for parents and even communities to be involved with the kids as far as like education is concerned? And how much is too much? Is there too much?
I feel like for the best outcome for a student's education is parent involvement. Some students, depending on their personality, may not need as much parent involvement because they might be more self-disciplined, and they have that intrinsic motivation just to do their work.
Yeah.
But you have to also know your kid. So I think a lot of issues that we are facing right now with parents and student relationship is that it is lacking because they're not actually talking to them as much as they think they're talking to them. So instead of the kids actually having a lot of conversations in the household, they're spending more time online in some way. So there's not enough check-ins. Like oftentimes on my social media, I'll post like, check your kid's backpack. They still need a pencil, right? Because they're not checking in. Their backpacks are filthy, but yet they don't have any supplies that they need. And then the kids will often tell you like, oh, she just didn't put the grade in. She didn't put the grade in. But at the end of the day, if the work was turned in on time, the grade would be in. So at this point, whatever you're doing is on my extra time. So the parent, when they follow up, like, well, they said they turned it in. Well, yes, they may have, but late. So at this point, that's not my priority to put in a late grade. I'm not going to ignore it, but I do those on Fridays for me. right? So it's like, I'm not doing that right this second because that's going to knock me off my track for everything else I have going on. So parents need to focus more on building the relationship and with the teachers. Like, it needs to be like, we're a team. Like, the parent and the teacher is one team. And if they at least can take that perspective, it'll make the school environment a lot easier because they'll know, like, you guys are on one team, so I can't play you guys against each other, because that's kind of how it works. If a kid knows that they can use their parent against you, they will.
Yeah,
And they'll,
absolutely.
so, and that, my whole thing for this is basically parents do need to be involved and they need to check their grades. It's 2025 and all the grades are online. And as soon as the kid says that the work, they turned it in, show me the work. Okay. Anytime they say they did it, show me.
yeah.
I need evidence. I make mine check. I make her show me everything. Show me. You said you don't have anything to do. Let me see Canvas. Let me see. Scroll. There's no Quizlet. There's nothing you can study. They didn't post anything for you to read. Nothing. Let me see. They have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to follow up. You have to really, like, you have to dig deeper. You can't just take their first answer, because they're going to say whatever they need to say to get you to stop talking to them.
Yeah.
And you have to do more, especially if, when you check their grades, which are accessible 24/7.
24/7. Yeah.
And then they'll email you saying, well, what are they failing? Why are they failing? Did you check the grades online?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my biggest thing. When parents are like, "Hey, my kid was absent," that's fine. You checking in because things are different. Something has changed. That makes sense to me. When you're asking me about grades that you have access to, that's where I draw issue, because that's a conversation between you and your child. That's not a conversation for us, because you should realize that we're on the same team, and if the grade is missing, the work is missing. So you need to get on to them and tell them to go to tutoring to get whatever it is fixed.
Yeah. I want to
Sorry, that was a long rant.
No, I like
good.
that. I was going to say, before Quanita goes, I was obsessively checking my daughter's, it's called Hack in KDISD. And the moment I took my foot off the gas, I was like, and this is why. Like, you, not to, like, talk down on her, but she is not self-motivated. Like, she needs
A lot of them aren't.
reminders.
That is consistent. Just so you know, that is consistent across all kids.
Yeah.
I send a screenshot. Like, we use something different called Skyward. I'll check it on my phone just so I can screenshot it, circle the assignment, and then send it to my daughter's phone.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm not talking to the teacher. I'm talking to you. I see this assignment is, something's wrong. It's not an A. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Or it says missing. Like, she
Or it says
just put missing in there for no reason.
Or it's a 0, or it has a little star. I'm going to circle it with red, and I'm sending it immediately to you. Get that together.
And I like that your conversation is between you and your student, because they know what's going on. So you have that conversation with your child. Yeah, and it's like they don't have that conversation and they come straight to you. I'm like, it's in Schoology. It's in Skyward. It's there for you. Like you say, you have 24/7 access. So why do I have to email you 18 times to tell you, oh, your kid is missing work, or your kid is failing? Oh, can you check Schoology? Oh, you need to check Skyward. You already know these things, but everybody wants somebody else to do the work for them and to tell them exactly what they need to do, X, Y, Z. So nobody wants to put in the work for themselves. I sent the test. I have a posting. The test is when the test is. So why are you asking me when is the test? I've told you multiple times.
I forgot.
Like, why? Or why do the kids walk in my door when they see the desk in rows and say, oh, we got tests today? What have we been doing? Like, come on. At some point, you have to wake up and see what's going on around you and know what's happening.
Open your eyes.
Yes. But I love parental involvement, especially when you can tell that it's from a place of, I'm just trying to support my child, because that's what you're supposed to do as a parent. You're supposed to support your child. I have no problems with that. None whatsoever. You can email me, you can call me, you can ask me to call you, and I will, because that's what I want. I want to help you to support them. Right. And if it's something that I don't give you access to, or you're not sure, please contact me. I don't mind. It's when I have those parents that want to contact you when their child is missing 8 assignments, but you've received 3 progress reports. Did you miss it on those 3 progress reports? I don't understand.
Ship has
Oh,
sailed.
it's stuff like
Screaming.
that. Yeah. So I don't know. So I mean, I love those parents that are there supporting their kids because 100%, please do. But it's
I
the
think that
parents that. Go ahead.
I think that to the parents' defense, I think as an education system, I don't know that we did enough to really explain how much access you have to some of the things online, because I have parents that'll act like they'll see the grades, but they won't click the grade to see the individual assignments. You know what I mean? And
Oh
it's like,
yeah.
so I've explained to my school, like when we do these, not open house, but when we do the little, like when the seventh graders are coming in, the parents can come, they can walk around the school. There needs to be a session in the computer lab where we like literally go over like how Canvas looks,
Yeah.
like how our things look to you, because at the end of the day, depending on how old the parent is, they may not have gone to school where their grades were online. My grades were on paper, they were not online.
Yes.
So and I know what I know because I'm in that field. So to me, it's easy. But to a parent who's like, wait, what? It's online. They may not even think that to check it online. And you can even set up Skyward to alert you when grades are below a certain
Zeros.
level. It'll send you an email, and they may not know to set that up. So then maybe you don't want to check it every day, but you just want the alerts for when grades are below a certain level, as in assignment grades or the total grade.
Too.
But if you don't know those and no one's showing you, then you kind of are,
Listen.
yeah. So I'm hoping that we get to do that this next year. Now the
That's a
the
great
parents who have
idea.
multiple kids going through, I don't know what their excuse is, but
Look at you being a change maker. So, Elise, I feel like parent involvement for what you do is super important too.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
was going to speak on it.
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
girl.
From the special education side, as a teacher and a more on the compliance side, I know going into an ARD meeting, I know exactly the type of parent I'm dealing with from the first introduction and from the first moment of being in that meeting. I know if I'm dealing with a parent that knows what's happening with their child IEP, or if I'm dealing with a parent that's just here because they have to meet with me every year. And I very much so value the parents that are there, that bring questions, that question us because you don't know if you don't know what's going on in your child's IEP, then you don't know what your child should be receiving in the classroom. And so then you don't know to check their work when they bring it home to see if those accommodations have been given.
or
Yeah.
And
asking the
so
questions,
asking
asking,
the
did
questions,
you
right?
receive headphones so that you could hear
Right.
that quiz that you didn't pass?
Right. Also, talking with your child to know what you should be requesting in these ARD meetings. I have medically fragile students on my campus, and I know that that's an anomaly, I guess. You don't have a lot of medically fragile students spread throughout the district. But I wanted to speak on them too, because we talk about able-bodied students and students that are typically in gen ed. We don't think about medically fragile kids and kids that they still get a FAPE. They still get free appropriate public education. That's what FAPE is. They still get those things. And I'll have parents come into those meetings. We're lifting your child up out of wheelchairs. We're physically moving your children. We're changing their, and I have parents come to those IEP meetings and they're like, all right, okay, all right. They don't answer the phone. Your child is medically fragile. We call ambulances every other week because your child had a seizure and you can't answer the phone. Those are the things where I get most frustrated. But in general, because I will go on and on. So basically, all I want to just convey, if parents are listening, is that if you have a student that receives an IEP and you have to attend ARD meetings yearly, make sure you come into these meetings prepared and you know what's happening. And also, you can request an ARD meeting whenever you feel we need to talk about something.
All right.
That goes also with
That's good.
504s.
Which let's hope we keep them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We need a second episode. We might have to swing back. A last question before we have to let Tabitha go. How can we as a community or society support teachers? I know, listen, we can't change the laws. We can't necessarily get y'all a bigger paycheck, even though y'all deserve it. Y'all are the heroes. But what can we do? We can buy off the Amazon card. We can donate. What else?
I mean, honestly, I think that as long as parents are involved, or even like aunts or grandparents, when they just come and support their kids, that goes a long way more than people really think. Just your presence, knowing that you could pop up because you're helping set up for the dance, or you're helping print copies or any of those types of things. Just knowing that more adults that are in their lives are just wandering around, like not wandering, but they are around, will kind of keep kids at a level that they need to be, because they know there are extra eyes that are not necessarily their teacher. So even if people are just coming to the games, or they're coming to chaperone the dance or things like that, I mean, buying the things off the Amazon carts, that is extremely helpful. But if you just buy your kids school supplies, that's even more helpful. And as long as you check and re-up on those glue sticks, we should be good. I feel like I have to tell my kids all the time, you're in 8th grade. You had to get colors from kindergarten and scissors from kindergarten to now. And you're telling me you don't have scissors and you're saying you don't have colors? That doesn't make any sense to me. You're saying you don't have a pencil bag, but it's a requirement from kindergarten to now. Where are all the bags? Where did you put them?
They were sold out.
And tissue. Everybody always needs tissue. That's really
Yes.
that's really one thing that the community needs to just come together and just donate boxes of tissue for these noses, because they are nosing, okay?
The noses are nosing.
The noses are nosing. But, just making sure you're speaking life into all the kids that are in your life and around you. Just being involved as much as you can. Coming to these different games, and their different activities, their band recitals, choir, their theater, all those things. So they feel important, because they are. And the more people that show up for them, even if it's somebody from their church, somebody from, some other activity that they do, and they show up, all those things matter. And it really makes their school environment and their school life a happier situation, because they feel more proud of the things that they're doing.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Tabitha. All right, y'all. Tabitha has to go, so we appreciate her for stopping by. We're going to pick back up with Quanita and give her a chance to answer some questions, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you, Tabitha.
And we appreciate you, Tabitha. Enjoy your teacher appreciation week and rest of the year. We're almost there.
We're almost there.
You got this, girl.
Bye.
Thank you,
All right.
Tab.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, so we still have Miss Quanita here with us. We can pick back up on the last question that we did. So regarding how can we as a community, how can we as a society show teachers appreciation? How can we express our gratitude? What are some things that you guys need from us?
Tabitha made great points about just being present and showing up for them, because it definitely goes a long way. And I think that I know in middle schools the campuses are really big, and so if there was a way for us to have people from our community come in and just kind of like monitor those halls and walk around when they think nobody's there to walk around. I think that would help too, because as much as we want to say that, there's so many people on campus, that is true. But at any given time, most of us are in a place where we have to be in our classroom, or, and we're not able to be in those places that might need a presence all the time. So I think that, just showing up, being there, being available and saying, hey, I can come up there and, walk those halls for 30 minutes, or come to the cafeteria and kind of help with that situation as well, and just monitor that, because I think the more people that they see that's trying to guide them, the better they will start to behave, because they know we're watching, and it's always going to be somebody there. And I know that's probably difficult to get people to come in, but I think that would be something really, really powerful in our campuses, especially right now, because behavior is
Off the chain.
something else. It's something else. It is. It's something else. And we need help. I'm just going to put it out there. We need help.
At the elementary level, they have, at our school anyway, they have watchdogs. So the dads sign up for a day, and I guess they go around to like lunch and maybe PE recess, but they spend like the whole day, I think, sorry, I'm just like hitting the mic. From drop off to pick up, like I see them in the pickup line, I see them in the drop off line. But I think that's super important, especially for our Black kids, to see like that male father figure presence. Because I'm not saying that we don't have dads or we don't have positive male figures. But I think in a world where we are the minority, I think it makes a difference when you see people showing up where you are because they care about you, not because like they have to, but because I'm volunteering my time just to make sure everything's cool. That's what I told my husband. I was like, I don't necessarily think you need to like monitor the school because I think something's going on, but I think it's important for you to have a presence and for our son and other people that look like him to see like the black dads are out here. Like, yes, they work too, but like they're making time to come into the schools as well. So, do they have that at the middle school level? Like a watchdog type thing?
Not where I am. They do not.
But
No, not
there
where I am.
are, I was going to mention what you just mentioned, Mariah, and they're sprinkled out. I don't think our district, I haven't heard of any, maybe one or two at the elementary level, but I've seen it televised or on social media of the dads, you know, joining forces to help out in these schools. Because like you said, that presence is necessary.
Yeah.
And I think too that we should not have the mentality that somebody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody feels like, well, that somebody else is doing what needs to get done, so they don't have to step in and do something. And that brought me to the tissue box comment that Tabitha made. Because we don't have tissue. But I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to send out a request to parents and say, hey, can you please send in tissue? And so I have 150 plus students. And I sent it out. I was like, we need tissue. Hoping to get tissue.
How much tissue did you get?
I promise you, I did not get 10 boxes of tissue.
That's crazy to me.
Yikes.
I did not get 10. I think I might have gotten 6.
I feel a
That's
little
so
convicted
crazy.
now because I'm like, how many times have I seen the email and been like, oh, can we get to that? It didn't do
And
it.
then,
In the
yeah.
school, somebody else was doing it too.
Yes, because I definitely feel in middle school they feel that way. Because they're like, oh, it's so many, they get so many students who come through that door that somebody else is doing it. So you don't need my tissue. I'm going to keep my tissue. And then so nobody's doing it.
I'm about to go buy some tissue right
Okay, just bring the tissue to the people.
now. Teachers.
That is a benefit of elementary. I think elementary, the parents are a little bit more involved because their kids are still kids. I guess you
Yeah.
can say you're not dealing with preteens and teens. So
Right.
that's something that is a benefit of elementary level. Not that much, but it's more than middle. Don't get confused.
I like what Quanita said about not assuming somebody else is doing it. I think it's the same for, or not the same as like teaching or anything like that, but like the PTO. I think some schools call it the PTA. So our PTA is not that big, considering how big our school is. And I think that parents assume like it's this huge commitment, like I'm gonna need to be like taking off work and doing all these things. And honestly, it's not. I think we need more people that look like us in the PTA though, in the PTO. I think it's important because they have a lot of pull. They make a lot of decisions. The programs in schools.
That's right.
So our PTA has, they call it a multicultural festival. When our programs person stepped down because she was also a teacher, she didn't have time to basically do programming and teaching and be a parent and all the things. Well, some of the events got cut, and one of the events that got cut was Black History, because who's caring about it enough to be like, no, we need to push this issue? Who's voting in the meetings like, no, let's keep the Black History program over the Glow Run? No, we don't have the participation.
Yeah.
And I think even if you can't make it to a meeting, buying that membership that I think is like $11.50 right now, buy the membership, read over the meeting minutes. If you have any questions, reach out to somebody, but just be a voice. Even if you can't make the meetings, I think it's important to be present because these organizations are an organization for a reason. And I think something that people that look like us have to do, we have to start organizing in schools and in these communities. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm not even a teacher. I just need to throw that in there. A little PTO.
Good point,
PTA
though.
plug.
Good point. Good
I
point.
agree.
Oh my gosh. So this is a really good conversation. I have heard some really good nuggets so far. So my question is, I know you guys have to do like I don't know if they call it continuing education or like always
PD.
training and all the things. What do you feel like you do personally outside of what's mandatory or what's required for your certification or whatever to make yourself like a better educator? Because I feel like you've been in the game for a long time.
And that
What they were
Quinita
doing,
is a professional developer in her own right.
period.
So
Yes.
take it away,
That
Quinita.
part,
Let us
look,
know.
yes. And even though I've done this so long, I'm always trying to think of new ways. How can I help my kids? Because they've changed so much. Like students have changed, their capabilities have changed, how to reach them has changed, how to get them engaged has changed. So I am a TikTok university, YouTube university. I will search it and I will follow all the people and get all the ideas that I can then take back into my classroom for my students, because at the end of the day, it's about them and I'm trying to get them to be the best version of themselves as possible. So that's me. Like, I'm always doing something. I will go on a Saturday somewhere. I went over the summer to a training, so I don't mind going, putting in the extra because it's extra, I don't mind doing that for my students, because at the end of the day, when I am the best version of myself, then I can help them become the best version of themselves.
Yes, that's a very true statement.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you want to add anything, Elise?
Yeah, no. I think Quinita.
Okay, plot twist.
No, not really. I think Quinita really hit the nail on the head. I can go back to when I first became we didn't talk about how Quinita and I met. When I first became a teacher, Quinita and our friend Jennifer were the first team that I ever taught on. As a fourth fun fact, again, I only taught with them for 1 year. You would think we would have taught for multiple years with how close we are. But I only taught with them for 1 year, right, Quinita? And then I was moved to fifth grade. But in that 1 year, I think I learned the most in my career that I could have learned anywhere else. I think God placed me on that team for a specific reason, and I think it was to meet Quinita, meet Jennifer, form these everlasting relationships and friendships that turn into basically family. But not only that, but some of the best teachers I've ever met. My team leader, her name is Christy Neely, one of the best teachers one of the best human beings I have ever come across. In that 1 year, I learned so much. I remember we would stay late. We would stay till like 8, 9 o'clock at night. Ooh. We would order dinner. The teachers were in the trenches. We don't do all that no more. Good. Late, but not at the house. But I mean, back then we would be printing and cutting and laminating with our personal laminators and making sure our rooms were perfect and all of that fun stuff. And I remember it was fun, but that just made me think about like what extra we do or what we did for our students to have the best experience in the classroom as they could, and to essentially feel safe in the classroom to learn and be open to receive what we are trying to get them to understand.
Yeah,
that is true. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't see that part of it. The staying late, the coming early, the using your own money to do so many things to support those kids, and it goes unnoticed. But also, I feel, not that I need you to just pat me on the back all the time, but they need to understand that we don't just work those contract hours. There's no way.
Right.
For us to be beneficial to those kids, we can't work those hours and just be done. So it's so much that goes into teaching that I think a lot of people are unaware of.
And don't mention, I spoke on this last episode, but don't mention or a couple episodes ago, but don't mention the summers. The summers is not a break for teachers. Yes, we don't go into the classroom every day in the summers, but I say that most of the hard work is done in the summer. The nitty gritty is done in the summer. I mean, so teachers are whooping their butts out here to make sure the kids are learning, and also the kids are becoming good people. It's not only academics that we're teaching in the classroom, as you said, Mariah, a couple of weeks ago, that we spend more time with children than their own parents. And so it's our job to give them good characteristics and contribute to them being good people along with learning those academics. So it's a broad spectrum that we're dealing with in the classrooms, not just academics, even though that's the main portion of it. There's way more to it. You form relationships with these students. Quanita, oh my gosh, I'm rambling. Quanita has run into so many people that she has taught in our area that they remember her still. Because she made an everlasting effect on them.
Don't teach where you live.
But she has, and not even like just in random places. Yeah. She's run, and I remember personally at least 3 times where I'm like, whoa, they love Miss, you know. So yeah.
I'm like, who's Miss M?
Oh, I didn't want to tell you guys.
I know. That's why I was like laughing. I was like, who is that? No, I'm just kidding.
I remember when I was younger, and I think I heard Priscilla Shire say this about like one of her teachers when she was younger. Seeing your teacher outside the classroom in the school was wild. You were like, you exist? Like, I thought you lived at the school and like waited on me to get here.
Yes.
Yeah. Now they want to see you. They want you to come to their games. They want you. They're giving out football schedules and baseball schedules and things like that. So times have changed.
Yeah. I want to give, you know what? I'll do that at the end. I want to know if there was a teacher in your life, and I want you to call them by name if you remember them, that you want to give them their flowers or recognize them, or if they are not here with us anymore, give honor to them in their memory. Is there a teacher that really made a difference for you?
I already know. 4th grade, Miss Hamilton.
Aww. Oh, are you?
Oh no.
One thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get emotional. We're gonna get emotional. Love it. Oh.
And that wasn't even on my script. See how the
Sorry.
moving?
I cried the other week, Quanita. Don't you worry.
So 4th grade, Miss Hamilton, and 5th grade, Miss Mosley. When I tell you, and they were Black females. Mm-hmm. I needed it.
Oh.
Really?
Wow. Whoa.
Why do I feel it through the computer?
Look, nobody brought me Kleenex, so I don't have it. See?
It's
Kleenex. Call your sister. Come bring you something.
They,
I love that. I love it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. They made an impact on you, which is the reason that immediately you didn't even floodgates.
No,
that's the impact. Oh,
they definitely poured into me. And I remember in 4th grade, Miss Hamilton, she said, that was putting me with groups. And of course, I was always the helpful, kind, you needed something, you came to me. So we were doing groups, and she put me in a group, and I didn't particularly like a certain person. And I kind of threw a tantrum, and she pulled me out, and she was disappointed. And that made me realize, like, girl, she did it for a reason, and I didn't understand that. And so she kind of explained it to me, and I felt so bad because I had disappointed her. And I was like, oh man. So from that point on, I'm like, okay, we don't understand all the things that's happening, but go with it. And, at some point you might realize, what's going on. You might see why. And I try to do that with my kids too. I'm like, you don't have to love everybody, but you got to respect them. And I feel like I showed a disrespect, and she definitely put me in my place. Period. And I was like, I understand, and I got it, and I felt so bad after that.
Aww.
In 5th grade with Miss Mosley, she also poured into me because, I was super quiet, still am, super shy, but they helped me see something in myself that helped me to kind of break out of that and to realize, like, I wanted to be that for somebody else. And I think that also solidified that whole, let's go be a teacher. I want to do that because I wanted to be that for somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Wow, I love it.
What about you, Elise?
Well, I'm already on the brink of falling into puddles. But mine is not a grade level teacher. Mine is, I grew up, my parents worked. I was a 6:30 to 6:30 kid because my parents had to work. I would go to Extended Day in the morning at 6:30. And typically, not 6:30, maybe 5:30, my mom was coming home and picking us up from Extended Day. And extended day was just an after school and before school program. And I remember we had our site coordinator's name was Miss Laverne. And she was my site coordinator all through elementary, and well, not all the way, maybe my later years. And she was my brother's site coordinator for extended day. And when you asked me, teaching isn't just in the classroom. There are programs outside of the classroom that can make an impact on students too. And Miss Laverne was that person for me. Miss Laverne took us in. She was like my mother inside of that school, and she made sure that we were okay. You know when someone is looking out for you a little bit more than they have to. And she was that person for us. I remember it would get to the point where I would have to go pick up my brother from school, and Miss Laverne was, how you doing? What? And she was checking in on us, and I remember her being like, I can't remember, because when you're younger, you don't really know how old people are. They seem a lot older than they were. So I don't even know. And I was going to say it was like a grandmother, but I don't think she was that old. But that's the person that popped up in my head as the person who made the most impact on me. Quanita, hey girl, welcome back to the podcast. The lighting came on. But she was the one that made the most impact on me. I remember we used to take her chocolate covered cherries for Christmas every year until I was up into college. I think I had graduated. I was in college, I know, taking her cherries for Christmas every year. And unfortunately, we learned not too long ago that she had passed away. And that was a gut-wrenching feeling. But I knew at that moment that was the person who had made the biggest impact on me in my educational journey, my grade school journey. And we still love her to this day. And we talk about those cherries every year during Christmas and how we would be buying them and taking them to her if she was still here with us on Earth. So yeah, she was a great person.
I am unwell. I'm just going to let y'all know, if y'all are not watching this right now, I am barely holding it together. Anyway, I want to shout out a teacher that made a big impact on me. So my teacher is Miss Warren. She was my second grade teacher. And in second grade, I think that's when I first got glasses. So I could not see without my glasses, like, at all.
All of us, sister.
So I guess I was like reading with my book like this, like straight A student, really sharp, but I guess somebody noticed somewhere along the way, like, why is this girl reading like with her book right there? So I got glasses in second grade. I was like very skinny. I looked like malnourished. I wasn't. I was eating. I just that way.
Naturally thin.
Yeah. I hadn't grown into my head yet. My body is super small. So I was in like this really awkward way. And I had a bully like through third grade, I think, until I moved schools. And I feel like Miss Warren was the first teacher that like saw me. She was a Black lady. She gives me, now looking back, like Michelle Obama vibes. Like chocolate, really cute, just like really well put together. And Miss Warren had two sons, and we used to think the world of them. We didn't even know them, but like those are Miss Warren's kids, so we loved them. And then I actually would like go with her and her family. I don't know if this was like illegal or not, but we done now. I'm grown. But like on the weekends, I remember being with them at like Golden Corral and like all the things. But Miss Warren is also the teacher. I wrote her a poem. I told you about this, Elise. I think I told everybody.
Yeah.
I wrote a poem and she submitted it to somebody, and then I got published in the town's newspaper. And I think that like really sparked my love of like writing. Like, maybe I can do this. Like, I'm in second grade and now I'm in the newspaper because somebody thought what I wrote was significant. But yeah, shout out to Miss Warren. I think Miss Warren's now like a principal somewhere. I saw her on LinkedIn not too long ago. So I'm gonna like send this clip to her. Hopefully she doesn't. Like, who is that girl? Yeah. Miss Warren was an amazing teacher. Thank you for seeing me and for pushing me. And I think it's more, oh Lord, I'm about to cry.
It's okay.
So I have a second grader, and I haven't told anybody this. We recently got him tested for dyslexia, and it was at the beginning of the month, and I just knew something was off. I was like, He's super sharp. Like if I had to choose who I want in like an intelligence battle, I'm choosing him over my sixth grader. I'm sorry. But he really struggled with reading and I was like, I don't understand. And so at the beginning of the year, his reading teacher was like, you know what? He's a little behind. We're probably not gonna catch up, but we'll do our best. And I was just like, dang, like we're already behind the curve and we're already defeated before we even start. And so she went out on maternity leave for a while, I think like December. So she just recently came back. So he's been with the sub all year. His grades are fine, but I'm just like, I feel like there's a disconnect here. There's something happening or something that's not happening. Like something's not clicking. And so I was like, can we just get him tested for dyslexia? Like, I just need to know. Like, I take him to a tutor outside of school. We do work at home. It's a lot. Like, I'm not a teacher, but I'm trying. And so we got the test done, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be upset either way. Like, I just need to know so I can know how to help him. And we got the results back the other day. So he has dyslexia and dysgraphia. And so as a parent, it's like super hard because I'm like, I don't care
Yeah.
about the diagnosis. I just want him to get the help that he needs.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
want a teacher telling me like we're not gonna catch up because I know he's not stupid. It's nothing wrong with him. It's the way his brain like processes and the way he sees things. So he just needs like different resources. And I just think about like my second grade teacher pouring into me, and meanwhile like he
Yeah.
have that, and it just like breaks my heart. But anyway, I don't even know why I'm getting emotional about this. This is not even
This
my
is your
segment.
child.
This wasn't
Yes.
about me.
And
That's
it's
your baby.
important. It's important. This is an important conversation. And as someone who deals with dyslexia 24/7, the early intervention, and this is actually a full circle
Best part.
moment. This is what we've talked about, coming as a united front, and the teamwork that it takes as teachers in the schoolhouse and parents at home to give the children the support they need. Let's say you hadn't done this and you hadn't had these conversations and said, no, I want this evaluation now. They would have pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Now
Yeah.
he's getting these, he'll be getting earlier interventions that are needed to combat any gaps that he has from that. And it's a full team effort. And that's why teachers and parents have to work like this. If we're not
Yes.
working like this, kids slip through the cracks. And
Yeah.
so that's a great come around moment,
Yeah.
full circle moment.
And I just know like there's all these phenomena. There's like the prison pipeline thing. Like I really do believe in that. Like I think they count us out. Like
Yeah.
you're not making a certain reading score by this age. Like they already have put you in this box, and I just refuse for any of my kids or anybody that I love to be put in a box because I'm like, no, like we're gonna do whatever we have to do. We'll get the resources. I don't even know what to do right now because this is all real new.
Yeah.
I haven't had any meetings, but
Well,
I know who to call.
you've got a team of people that will stand with you in that.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important.
Yeah.
That's why it's important.
Yeah. My gosh. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell y'all, thank y'all for being amazing educators. I just met Quanita like almost a week ago. About a week ago. But I get those vibes like that you care and like
Amazing.
I can feel it. I asked Elise how my discernment is. I feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for pouring into these kids, both
Thank
of
you.
y'all. Thank y'all for showing up every day because you don't have to. Teaching is not one of those jobs where you do it for the money. I am well aware. So we appreciate y'all for being here, for being who you are. We are blessed to have teachers like y'all. And if y'all want to say anything else, feel free while I like get myself together.
Yeah. I just want to give Quanita her flowers, and I want to say that, like she said, well, like I've said, everybody's not meant to be a teacher. We have a lot of teachers in the classrooms. They're not born to be teachers. And I've always said this, I think, Quanita, and it sounds like Tab too from earlier. We're born to be teachers and born to be doing this for these students. And that's such a blessing that you were able to realize your passion from an early age, bring it to fruition, and now you're in the classroom changing the lives. I've seen it myself and Quanita, and I've seen it myself and my other teacher friends, the love that you have for your kids. And so I admire it. I've always said that I admire you, Quanita. I'm going to say it again. You're an amazing, amazing teacher, and everyone else that I personally know that's in the classroom. Y'all are appreciated, and I appreciate you for the work that you do every day.
Oh, thank
Here's your
y'all
flowers.
so
I'm
much.
just kidding.
Thank you. I know, I'm like, wait.
Here's your tissue.
I know, right? Get that Kleenex. Y'all are so funny. Well, I will say that it's not easy.
No.
And there are days when you wonder, is this it? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Do I stay here? Do I move out of here? But it's always, the kids always bring me back to it. Every single time I'm like, gosh, and then they'll do something or say something and I'm like, okay, this is why I'm still here.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about those kids. And as much as the adults around me sometimes drive me crazy and make me want to run out that door and never come back, those kids, it's about those kids, man.
That's
right.
That's it.
The problem.
That's right. That's true. You know, the adults are the difficult ones sometimes.
Well, thank you so much, Quanita, for joining us. This was a great conversation, if I do say so myself.
Great questions, too.
Thank you.
Shout out to Mariah's producer hat.
Yes.
I was going to rely on ChatGPT, and then the Lord was like, nah, girl, and see what he reveals. He just be doing stuff. Like,
yes.
I love it.
Yes. Well, we hope you have a wonderful, 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 wonderful Teacher Appreciation Week. Y'all deserve all the flowers, all the praise. Keep going, but when you're tired, it's okay to hang it up when you want to. Don't let them people make you stay in it any longer than you have to.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Quanita, for
Thank
joining us.
y'all for having me. I really enjoyed it. It was great. It was good conversation, too.
Yes. We'll have to
Thank
have you
you.
back for our part 2, because I know it's coming.
Okay.
Yes, period.
Let
we
me know.
We got more to talk about.
We got lots of questions.
Yes.
But with that, we will switch on over to our next segment. See y'all on the other side. That's our transition music, guys. All right, y'all. We had such a good conversation with
Wiping those
Tabitha
tears.
and Quanita. Oh my gosh, like what the heck? We started out this episode being super candid, and now look at us falling apart.
Listen, I just knew from the candid conversation that this was something that was going to go down in the record books for Sister Series podcast.
But you know what? Sometimes I feel like we carry so much. Like you got to let it out, because that stuff will just, even if it's not negative, but emotions can just like eat away at you. And I think that this week has been a lesson on, you just never know what somebody's going through. You never know when they are waiting for something or on the verge of something. You got to be careful how you treat people, what you say, how you say it, all the things.
Yeah.
But anyway, we already talked enough in the candid conversation.
Listen, let me just say my ADHD took over. When I go back and watch this to edit, I'm going to be like, it's time for the medication. I just wanted to point that out.
It's okay. Listen, I can hang with the best of the ADHDers. Ask me off camera why. I don't want to put nobody on blast.
LOL. Okay,
I'm gonna catch it, and I'm gonna go with you.
I'm drag you back and forth, but you got it, sister. You got it.
I'm keeping up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Carry on.
We are gonna hop on our wellness wave real quick and talk about 2 items. Y'all, I have not been sleeping well, and I am a sleeper. Like, I was born like a 67-year-old woman. So I've been napping my whole life. Look at Elise yawning because she can feel it. She can feel it. Anyway, I have not been sleeping well, but some of it is because of me. So I used to take what I call night naps. I would go to sleep from like 7 to 9, wake up, get ready for bed, and then go back to sleep and sleep all night. And so now I can't do that. Like, I'm so exhausted on certain days when I get home because I drive really far for work. And so as soon as I get in the bed, I'm going to sleep. And it could be like 7:18 p.m. and I'm gonna go to sleep. But in turn, like, I will wake up at 2 a.m. like clockwork. in the 2 o'clock hour some kind of way, and then I won't go back to sleep. But it's mostly because I grab my phone. Everything that I tell my patients not to do and that I don't let my kids do, I've been doing it, and I don't know why. I heard somebody say when you wake up between, like, I think it's 2 and 4, it's the Lord. I guess I'm
Mm.
not trying to hear it because I'm like, let me get on my phone. But I need to listen.
Okay.
Who
Trying
is
to get
it
your
that
attention.
the Lord kept calling and he was like, it's me, Lord.
Oh,
Yes.
I think oh,
You know
now
the
I want
story? He was no. He was
yes.
going to the man and he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Did you call me?" And he was like, "It wasn't me." And he went again
Yes,
and
I
he was
know what you're
like,
talking about,
"Did you
but I don't
call
know the
me?"
names.
It wasn't me. Somebody, listen, I am ashamed that I cannot.
Put it in the comments, y'all. I would look it up, but my phone is on the stand
I'm
recording.
gonna remember who it is as soon as we get off of here. I'm having stage fright. That's what it is. Not
That's
because I
it.
don't know my Bible.
For sure. For sure, that's it.
But anyway, so then he went again and he was like, I even taught, side note, I taught this lesson in children's church and I still can't remember. Anyway,
Who
he
was it?
went back and then he was like, next time say something like, Lord, I'm listening, because it's not me, it's the Lord.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point in all of that was maybe at 2 a.m. I need to be listening for the Lord and not grabbing my phone. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm working on not doing that, but I'm also working on enhancing my sleep at night. So, what I have done is I have tried to only do sleep in my bed. I mean,
Please get
you know what
off.
I mean?
Please.
Like, the bed
Enough
is
is
for sleeping.
enough.
We're gonna, yes, the bed is for sleeping and my room is for sleeping. So, like reading or finishing charts or stuff like that, I'm trying not to be in my bed doing that because I really like to sit on the bed. And I think it
Yeah.
happened from college because, at college, you sat in the bed, you studied in the bed, you ate in
Yeah.
the bed.
Yeah.
Like, the bed was the desk, the
Yeah.
couch,
The
all the
couch, the
things.
dinner table. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really just like sitting on my bed.
Yeah.
And Austin will even be like, "Why don't you ever come in the living room?" And I'm like, "Why should I? Like, I don't need to."
I'm comfortable.
Right. But anyway, so that's number one. I'm trying to not be in the bed doing anything besides sleeping. And then I'm trying to make sure I do my bedtime routine before I actually get in the bed. So, like washing my face, brushing my teeth, those kind of things. And then I have started wearing this eye mask. So I've always, well, not always, but for a long time, I've worn an eye mask. But this one I was influenced into buying. It's like a
Mm.
3D eye mask. And so on the sides, it's kind of like raised and it blocks out more light than the normal eye mask. I'll have to
Ooh.
show y'all. I pulled it up on Amazon because I didn't feel like getting it from downstairs. But can you see how
Oh,
it's like
like
raised on the
stove
sides?
goggles.
Yes. And it also
Yes.
gives your eyes room to like move, like the
Yes.
eyelashes and stuff.
Right. That's why I don't like regular eye masks.
Yes, you should try it. It's a 3D sleep eye mask. I got it on Amazon. It was, how much was this? Not that much, I don't think. It was like $10 depending on what
Oh,
color
that's
you
not
get.
bad.
So I've been using that and I really like it. I tend to have dry eyes. So the eye mask like sitting right on top of my eyes doesn't always help either. I need them to like breathe. So
Hmm.
this one, the way that it's contoured helps my eyes breathe.
I like
And
that.
then another thing, so that's number one, the 3D eye mask. And then number two, my weighted blanket. Y'all, the weighted blanket feels like a hug. And I am somebody that needs a hug often.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I will go to sleep or I'll get in the bed and I'll put like my covers on and then I'll lay the weighted blanket on top. It doesn't add like a lot of warmth, but it adds that pressure. And you know how like babies and like sometimes
Hmm.
kids, they like to feel restricted and confined. That's how it feels when I'm sleeping. And I think it makes me sleep a little better. So
Yeah.
that's what the wellness wave is about. Enhancing your sleep because sleep is important. Sleep, you need more as you get older. And I know all of us aren't like ancient, but we're getting older every day and we need to sleep
Hmm.
well. So
Hmm.
that is my wellness wave, the contoured 3D eye mask and the weighted blanket. Elise,
Man, the
I'm not
sleep.
being that boring. Why are
No,
you
let me
yawning?
tell. I don't know, and I'm fighting for my life over here. I've been
Did you take a
coughing
Benadryl?
and no, I took a
Ezekiel.
no, I took a Dayquil this morning because I am genuinely sick. But I am getting worse as it gets dark, night at
Yeah.
nighttime.
Okay,
So
it's
I'm over here
does
fighting for my life after the sun has gone down.
let
And
me
it's
talk
weird.
about this phenomenon. Whenever you're sick, it gets worse at night. Like
Yes.
that night air or something about the sun not blocking something
I
out.
don't know, but my throat is hurting. And
Yeah.
this is the second night of my throat hurting at nighttime only
Okay,
and
we need
being
to.
fine during the day. But I'm like, what is going on? I'm really thinking, like, I'm like, do I really need to call in sick
You done spoke it
tomorrow?
up. See?
But I was going to mention your weighted blanket. Man, I wish I could get into the weighted blanket community because I do not like it.
What? What? Are you
I
for
do
real?
not like it. Get off me. Oh, it's too heavy. Take it
You
off.
done got the right one. How many
But I think
pounds
it's
is
because
it?
10. My brother bought it because I requested it
Okay.
for Christmas. I was on my wish list, and my brother bought it for me. And I was like, yes, weighted blanket. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, this thing is not,
You
get it
don't
off
like
of me.
it?
I think it's because I think I'm actually claustrophobic. I
Ah, that
really
makes
think
sense.
so
Yeah.
because I knew that I had an issue with tight, small spaces,
Yeah.
but also I'm a larger person, so
I'm done.
it coincides. But with the weighted blanket, I was like, I don't like this feeling of not being able to move freely.
And I like that feeling. Like I want to
That's
be
so
restricted.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. I probably have some kind of like
Shut
sensory
up,
thing. I
please.
mean,
I thought you were gonna say some type of like trauma or something. Like, girl, what? Please.
no, thank God. Not
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
too much.
Not
But
that one.
yeah, now the weighted blanket is a armrest on my couch downstairs. But I really wish I could get into the community because it looks like such a comfortable experience.
Is your weighted blanket fuzzy though?
No, it's like a blanket,
Yeah. I
but
can't make this
it's
make sense
so
for
like
you.
I can't even lift my legs, and I'm like, ugh.
Girl, that ain't no 10 pounds. You got the wrong, it's really 100 pounds.
I'm like, I need to be able. I'm also someone who cannot sleep. I mean, I just really have taken it. But I am also someone that cannot sleep. Like, I can't sleep in a t shirt because when I
Do you
turn,
sleep naked?
I sleep in a large tank top. That's it.
Okay.
If
So
I
is
wasn't
it the
afraid of,
sleeves that make you feel restricted?
yes. And it's
Okay.
like, I don't, if I turn in my bed and my tank top gets caught, like if I end up like this in the middle of the night, I'm going to get up and throw a fit. I need to get this off of me, please.
The visuals are really visualing.
So I think it correlates really. That's what I saw that on TikTok the other day where when you turn and like your shorts are still turned the other way.
I'm over here
Please.
like, do I feel restricted?
Yes.
New issue unlocked. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna be thinking about feeling restricted.
Wow. I
I'm
just
gonna be
went a little
honest.
crazy.
I really like to sleep free
I will sleep butt naked if
all
I
the
wasn't
way through.
afraid of like because someone used to tell me because I slept butt naked for years. TMI. At least you are really taking it today. For years, somebody told me like, what if something happens in the middle of the night and you got to run out the house? What you gonna do? Look for an outfit? Look
How
for
many
something to
times
put
has
on?
that happened in the last 32 years?
Never. But now it won't leave my brain.
But you know what? Life hack. You put a robe, you like drape a robe over the back of your bed,
Oh,
like your
that's
headboard.
smart.
That's what I do
That's smart. I might
most
do
of the
that
time.
then.
Yeah. Just drape that robe and you get up
You
and
got
go.
something to grab and go. Okay, that's smart. I may try that then, because these clothes really are not giving
Because if
like they
you end
should
up
be.
on TV, I
And they're
am
gonna
going
be like
to
this in the news. I had to fight for my life.
literally.
Okay, geez, bring it back, Elise.
All
We're moving
right.
on to the feed frenzy. I
Yeah,
was
because
going
that
to.
was enough wellness for us.
I'm not going to talk much about anything in the feed frenzy. We're going to talk about ChatGPT and how ChatGPT has changed my life for the better. And I don't know if we talked about this already, but really, anything you need in life, anything you need in life, put it in ChatGPT. Get the answers. And how does it correlate to TikTok? Well, I just wanted to tell y'all that ChatGPT, I made a TikTok about it, has given me a 30-day plan of posting and growing my content. It's given me hashtags. It's given me captions. All I did was screenshot my page. I put it in ChatGPT because it's on TikTok anyway. Everybody got it. And ChatGPT gave me a full out calendar of what I should be posting based on my content that is already on there, what I should be posting, what words I should be putting on the screen, what music I should be using, all of it.
That's what I be.
Yes.
So is ChatGPT an app?
I used the app today for the first time. I had been just going through Google.
Okay, so there's a thing on my phone that I think I bought, but I don't think
Bob.
I paid. Is ChatGPT free?
The one I think you can do it like 4 or 5 times a day.
It's called Chatbox AI. That's what I've been using. But if ChatGPT is better, because I don't think I can send like, I don't know if I can do pictures and stuff, but okay, yes.
Yeah, I be on the ChatGPT and it's free. I have not paid a dime yet because I know it's gonna suck me in. It's gonna ask. I'm gonna get something and I need it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, we need you to pay," and I'm gonna be like,
Yes.
"Okay."
You go do
Immediately
it.
get the wallet.
$57.99 a day.
Literally
Here's
that.
my
So
card.
literally.
All right.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention ChatGPT and like recipes. You don't know what to cook. I did this the other day. I had strawberries that I got from the farmer's market, and I was like, I don't want my strawberries to go bad. Yes, I don't want my strawberries to go bad. What can I make with them? I have these things in the house. Tell me what I can make. And it gave me a recipe. I didn't make the recipe, but it was still beneficial.
I knew she was gonna say this. Like, why would we even go down this road? Like, I just don't understand. You did all that for some strawberries not to go bad, just for them to go bad? Like, okay.
This is what happened. They weren't sweet, and I was upset, so I threw them away.
That's because they don't have no GMO.
They were so gross. I was like, I'll never buy strawberries from the farmer's market again.
No, you should. I got some from the farmer's market. They were good. You just got a bad batch.
Okay, well. I won't
But
buy
also, when is apple season? Because I've been wanting to buy my apples fresh, but I'm still having to buy from the grocery store because they don't have them at the farmer's market.
That's I don't think
who's
I've ever
growing the
seen
apples?
AI.
You're not wrong. With an
I
apple
don't think
in
I've ever
ChatGPT.
seen apples at the farmer's market. Is it an orchard? Apple orchard?
It comes from
Like
a
if
tree.
you were to go
so
to pick
you would
apples?
pick off a tree.
Yeah, but is there like an orchard you could go to in like Houston? Like there's a strawberry
I don't know
farm.
about Houston, but I know there's
general.
one somewhere.
Oh, we gotta look that up.
Can
That could
apples?
be fun.
This is a dumb question. Can you grow apples in Houston? Like, is our climate conducive to apples?
That's not a dumb question. That's a great question. I think I'm getting laryngitis.
All right. And on that note, guys, this has been an amazing, amazing episode. We are going to spare ourselves from Elise and all her drama. We appreciate all of your contributions today, sister. We want you to go get you an eye mask and not a weighted blanket. We want you to undress and get in your bed and close your eyes. And with that, we bid you adieu and good night. Bye.
Now, sometimes we rock it.
And other days we get laryngitis and get rocked. But either way, we rocking. Bye. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. This episode and every episode is produced by Elise and Mariah.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, where you can watch our full episode at the Sister Series Podcast.
Also, follow us on socials, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Sister Series Podcast.
See you next time.